right, bourbon lovers, class is officially in session. If you have ever sipped a fine Kentucky bourbon and wondered what makes Bardstown the bourbon capital of the world, well, this is the course just for you. The Bourbon Capital Academy is rolling out 5 new sessions to their beloved Bourbon in Bardstown series, a 2-hour deep dive into bourbon's rich history, culture, and flavor. Here to tell us more is Sam Lacey. You are joining us here today, and you've brought some really cool pieces. So tell us a little bit about this class and really what makes it so unique compared to actually doing a distillery tour.
Sure. Thank you for having me, Elle.
Of course.
And the Bourbon Capital Academy is overseen by the Bourbon Capital Alliance. And a very brief history on that. It's the organization that I run in downtown Bardstown, Kentucky. We have 9 partner distilleries. And in a nutshell, we exist to build the comprehensive bourbon experience in and around Bardstown on behalf of those 9 partner distilleries and our local community. So one of the ways in which we do that is termed the Bourbon Capital Academy, which is what we're going to talk about today. So you kind of hit some of the high points already. 2-hour experience.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is start our consumers off in the Oscar Getz Museum of Bourbon History.
Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what all is really housed there? It's a really beautiful space.
It's an amazing space. So it's in historic Spalding Hall in downtown Bardstown. And the Oscar Getz Museum of Bourbon History has one of the most comprehensive bourbon collections of pre-prohibition bottles anywhere in the world. I mean, thousands.
Oh my gosh.
And so for any bourbon aficionados, even newbies, it's a great place to start your bourbon experience in Bardstown. Tours are free at any time, and donations are accepted and would be fantastic for them. But we're going to start our consumers down there with Jack Ryan. Jack runs the building and the museum. They're going to get a 15 to 20 minute tour hitting the highlights of the Oscar Getz Museum of Bourbon History. Then we're going to bring our consumers upstairs to the 3rd floor, to the Brindiamo Penthouse. And the Brindiamo Penthouse was funded fully by the Brindiamo Group out of Nashville, Tennessee. We redid that entire space a couple of years ago, launched it on National Bourbon Day in 2023, June 14. And so what we've built up there is we've built a gathering space with a bar and bourbon lockers for the Bourbon Capital Guild, which is our bourbon society, and also our purpose-built classroom for the Bourbon Capital Academy. And it also serves as home to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival offices as well.
So it's pretty much a bourbon headquarters is what you're saying.
You're right. You're right. Perfect way to put it. Bourbon headquarters in downtown Bardstown. And so when we get our consumers upstairs to our purpose-built Academy classroom, they're going to sit down, and what they have in front of them is kind of what I've laid out here. So everyone gets their own custom Bourbon Capital Distiller map. And what's really unique about this is it showcases our 9 partner distilleries based on the stills that they have, which is very cool. I've not seen anyone else do that. And so you've got things like a column still, which most distilleries traditionally use, but you also have pot still. And so kind of showcasing those graphically is very cool. And then they've also got in front of them their field guide.
This is like well done. I mean, there's so much texture just on this too, but I love that you can actually write little notes in there. Of course, get a little background on the distilleries right here too. So what can people find just in this book alone?
Yeah, well, a lot of the deck that we're going to teach people, we put in the book as well. It's kind of meant to serve as a continuing resource. So if they ever have questions, what did we learn? They can go back and reference this. And in the back, we made sure we designed our own proprietary tasting note pages.
This is so in-depth. Normally you just get a piece of paper and they're like, oh, like what do you taste? But this, it's like you have a whole color guide right here. You could, put a little X on where you think as far as like the spices, the roast, the wood, all of that stuff. So you're really getting like a really in-depth look at bourbon, not just tasting it.
Yeah, and what we did, I mean, we developed this over the course of several months. What we did is reference a lot of other, tasting note pages out there and just kind of put together one, taking an aspect of here and here and making a really comprehensive note page. So our consumers get that as well, and that, of course, is theirs to keep, as is the map. And then what everybody wants to know about is the tasting. And so These tastes rotate amongst our 9 partner distilleries. So we'll pull in different tastings throughout the year. Right now, what's really unique about this specific tasting that we're running through the end of the year is the color gradient from left to right. So you've got Mellow Corn, which is a Heaven Hill product.
Okay.
Over on the left, very light whiskey color-wise, and then you slowly get darker with Maker's 101, Bardstown Bourbon Company, and then finally to a finished whiskey, which is from Barton 1792, one of their Thomas S. Moore sherry cask finishes.
Very cool.
It's cool for consumers to see the color gradient and then to taste through those at certain points in the experience.
Well, and I think it's so great because my dad is kind of dabbling into bourbon a little bit, and he usually just tastes one at a time, not actually a full-on tasting. But if you do a tasting, whether that is through your class or even just at another distillery, you can really taste those differences and actually seeing the different colors on there too. So then you can pick up those different notes. If it's like more bold in flavor, a little bit more mellow. So that's really cool that you actually get that nice visual.
Yeah, and with any tasting, I mean, we design it where you typically go up in proof. You don't want to blow your palate out with 130 proof.
You don't want like a big old ride to taste right off the bat. No way.
So we kind of start with that Mellow Corn, easy sipper, and then we kind of go up in intensity and flavor from there.
That's so cool. So I'm sure these book up so quick because you only do these one Saturday a month. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
So how much are tickets? And again, these dates just got released. So the next one is coming up
this
August.
Saturday.
Okay,
August
so
2nd.
it's going to fill up very quick.
Yeah, it's about a 2-hour experience. It's $55 a person, and we feel like the value is fantastic for that. With the 4 tastes, we send folks home with their own map. We send them home with one of our logoed glasses, and of course the field notes is there to take. And yes, we have 5 through the end of the year, and I'll let you in on a little secret.
Okay.
For classes that are very good, we tend to pull out kind of a very special 5th pour at the end.
Oh, okay.
We kind of keep it a secret. I've let the secret out, but yeah, and that kind of changes up depending on what we're feeling that day. So we'll go look at one of our partner distilleries' bourbon lockers or the Visit Bardstown locker with the Bardstown collection and pull something out that you cannot get really anywhere else.
Probably under lock and key. So
they are locked. Yes.
So that is
yes,
very special. So again, this is happening this Saturday, the August one, but tickets are going quick. So how can people get those reserved?
BourbonCapitalAcademy.com.
All right.
Yeah, very simple to see the dates and book right there.
All righty. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Now I need to book a class and learn all there is to know about bourbon in Bardstown and all of those great rich history pieces. So if you're interested in learning more and getting those tickets, just go to BourbonCapitalAcademy.com to book your class.